significance of my second album, Unbroken, well, there's a couple different things. I got to write with Paula Cole, and we wrote the song Unbroken together. And it's a really kind of heartfelt song that we wrote. It was sort of about a relationship that I was going through during the recording process. But I was just actually thinking of what would be a good, title to represent sort of what I've been through working on this record. And Unbroken, I was looking through the different song titles, and Unbroken was like, that's a cool word. So I looked it up in the dictionary, and one of the definitions was untamed and wild. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never would have thought. But I felt like that specific way of looking at Unbroken really describes sort of my process of making this record. Not only have I been in this business like now 3-4 years, and I feel like I'm still unbroken, I feel like I'm still together, but I felt really free and untamed on this record, working on it. My record company really gave me the opportunity to find the direction I wanted to go. Had It All is definitely a song about looking back and, sort of reevaluating what you had and not really knowing what you had in the moment. And this is one of the songs that was sent to me in the very beginning process of working on my record, and I just totally connected with it because there's been not only just like relationships with maybe guys or whatever, but just even personal, or business things, things that you come close to getting and then you don't get. I mean, that I can relate to it in so many different ways. And it just also had like a fun vibe to it, even though it's sort of like depressing lyrically, like, oh, I had it all, and now I'm down in the ditches. It has a sort of, I would say, celebratory kind of vibe to it behind the lyrics. I love the writing experience. I mean, it's been a process. I think in the beginning, working on this record, I had a lot more of a hands-on experience. I sort of kicked and screamed a little bit just because I was like, why can't they just send me pretty songs? But as I got into it, I think I realized that I wanted it to be personal, and I wanted people to sort of have a look into what I went through writing it, and being able to write with people like Rachel Yamagata and Ingrid Michaelson and Paula Cole and Dioguardi, those kinds of people, Jason Reeves. When you click with people and they have experience and they're encouraging, and it definitely makes it more enjoyable. It's hard being sort of thrown into a room with people that you don't know and just expected to sort of click with them right away. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it definitely happens. I guess in a way you could say I personally picked these people to write with. I met Ingrid Michaelson at a show. I wasn't really familiar with her as an artist, and she's like, oh, she's so sweet and humble. She's like, I have that little song that goes like this, ah, la. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that song. And instantly went home and downloaded all her music. Not illegally, it was all legal. And became really, connected with her, and we did a lot of songwriting via email because she's all over the world. And Paula Cole, I was a huge fan of. I loved all her records. I knew every word. I still know all her words. And I covered one of her songs, and her manager saw me cover the song and somehow got me connected with my management. And I mean, it's crazy how it all happens, but it was like a dream come true. I flew up to Massachusetts where she lives and got to write. So I guess in that way I handpicked. And then Dioguardi I've known way before Idol. So Rachel Yamagata is the only one that I was lucky enough to she kind of got thrown into my record through the producer. But I guess, yeah, you could say I had a hand in having some of these great writers be a part of my record. I knew I wanted to sing. That was like my first love. My mom says, oh, you were singing since you were 2. I'm like, well, I don't know if that's quite so accurate. I mean, it's funny, I don't really have a specific memory of like going, this is what I want to do with my life. I just always remember having music, and my mom always played music, and I just remember always singing. I guess it was just sort of like a natural thing that I knew I was going to do. It was just sort of like expected in my head, as far as a little kid can actually, process.
Why'd I have to go and be a fool?
Some of my favorite artists, well, growing up, I'll start with that, was Sarah McLachlan and Alanis Morrisette, and then on the complete opposite side, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Those were my huge influences, and I still love them to this day. When a Celine Dion song comes on, I'm like, roll down the windows, sing my heart out to those songs. And Paula Cole, huge influences. And I have a lot of jazz and sort of old American songbook influences in my upbringing as well, like Sinatra and Billie Holiday, all those kinds of artists too. I've been listening to the new Maxwell CD and Kings of Leon. They're like my two different types of music, but that's who I'm really into right now. Kings of Leon, they're kind of hot. All of them. Cute. What I'm hearing myself say. Young musicians starting on the business, you have to love it, you have to be passionate about it, and don't let anybody, even if it's your mom or your dad, tell you that you can't do it. And of course, you know, you should find out if you're actually really good at it. You know, my mom was a voice teacher growing up, and she had a lot of students come to her with incredible talent, and somehow along the way, someone discouraged them. And she was always like sort of the person that was trying to reinforce what they thought they knew about themselves, but was kind of shut down from other people, in that it's not about so much that person, it's about that other person's issues. And so I think like being able to have courage to sort of persevere through that kind of thing, because it happens to a lot of people, you know. We all can sort of get knocked down here and there, and the best thing is to just find someone in your life who can help brush you off, you know. When we say goodbye.
Bye! It's a wrap.